Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the new DaGoatCards YouTube channel. This is going to be a deck profile for the Tri-Brigade Lyrilusc deck that's just come out. I think this is one of the better decks going into the post-Bode format. I think this is what I will be taking to a lot of regionals until the release of the Brave cards in January. So with that said, just going to get into it. So free Fractal, this is the Tri-Brigade engine, free Nerval, one Kit and one Keris. So obviously Fractal is like the starter of the tries. Nerval is one of the better cards in the Tri-Brigade engine because it's a level 1 wing beast specifically for this deck. Kit and Keris, consider higher numbers on Kit and Keris because Keris is an extender and Kit is kind of a starter but not as good as Nerval, so that's why there's one. Keris, I think, with more testing and probably some like different sort of changes on the format, if it becomes more hand trap heavy, etc., then Keris could probably be considered as a higher number. For the Lyrilusc engine, free Warbler. It's a very heavy bird engine at the moment, but again, things can change over time. Free Cobalt Sparrow, free Celeste Wagtail, free Sapphire Swallow, and only 2 of the Canary. So the reason for that is, like I said, it was a heavy bird engine at the moment. So in my testing so far, I found that the deck struggles when you don't get to piece up or like pair up, 2 of the birds. But Yellow Canary doesn't fall into that sort of category because it's more of an extender after the combo sort of finished because it locks you into Xyz. I think 2 is fine. I think 2 is the perfect number. I think 3 is too high, 1's too little because you want to have it, but you don't want to like open it necessarily that much. But it's a very good card going second as well because of the Zeus combos. Warbler is obviously the best starter in the deck. You want to pair Warbler with one of these two, sorry. So that's why we're playing, these plus Fractal. We'll play a Foolish Bear on a Tanky as well. Because again, this is the best combo in the deck, and there are some very interesting combos that play through every form of interruption in the game with Warbler plus Sparrow, or Warbler plus Wagtail, Warbler plus Fractal, which, if you guys want to see, I can show, because it's pretty easy to demonstrate. It's actually a lot simpler than you'd think. But yeah, so 6 of the, I guess you would describe them as the Searcher birds, because again, I know a lot of people play 2 Wagtail or 2 Sparrow, but I think that 3 of each currently is the correct number because we're just trying to maximize the consistency of the combos. Same thing for 3 Sapphire Swallow because, again, this is a sort of a superior extender that fixes some of the issues in the hands where you don't draw, the Warbler, but you draw, say, for example, like Nerval plus Sparrow plus this, then that's much the same in terms of the combos, which is basically what we're trying to go for right now. This is a little bit different. For the Samorg targets, I only play the 1 Apex Avian as opposed to the Barrier Statue. I don't feel that the Barrier Statue is necessary because if this deck is one of the more popular decks, then the Barrier Statue wouldn't be very useful at all because there's a lot of, as you know, wins. It's basically all wins. There are certain lines of the combo where you can make the double Dragon Lords to protect the Barrier Statue, but in better lines of the combo, you don't want to do that because it doesn't play around Nibiru, so I don't think that the Barrier Statue is very necessary, whereas I think Apex Avian, just being a hard negate, is an Omni negate for basically anything that isn't one of the Board Breaker Droplet or Ruler type spells, is a lot better, especially considering we don't necessarily know what the format is yet, like with perfect knowledge, so I think this is a better alternative right now. And then the only hand traps on the list currently are 2 DD Crow. I love this card. It's one of the it fills a weird role in this sort of deck because it's a winged beast level 1, which is very important for the for matching up the levels for your Xyz and all that sort of stuff. But also, it's also got like a very strong interaction with, I think, a majority of the format, especially if the Fam Knight deck becomes as popular as I'm expecting it to be, then this is the best hand trap versus that deck, effectively. Then there's onto the spells. Free Bird Call, this is the Lyrilusc Searcher spell. It basically acts as like any other Lyrilusc card, but has a slightly better effect than it being a Lyrilusc card because it also special summons one from the hand if you get stuck. So there's a lot of combos that can be specifically made through Bird Call, as opposed to, you know, sort of like if you have like Warbler plus Sparrow, this plus Sparrow is the same thing, but in a different way. But this is very necessary to make a lot of the combos happen. 3 Pot of Desires, which I actually don't think should be Pot of Desires after some testing. I think this should be Pot of Prosperity, but for the purpose of this video, to just sort of get it out there, couldn't find them. So Pot of Desires, I think, is also fine if you don't have Pot of Prosperity, but I think Pot of Prosperity is better because, so we play a 1 of in the trap lineup that stops Dark Ruler and Droplets, so I think because of that, the Desires has a conflict with that, which I don't particularly like. I don't particularly like Pot of Prosperity that much either because of how tight the extract is for the banishing, but I think the pros and cons of weighing up Prosperity versus Desires sort of make Prosperity win, but if you were to cut the trap, then I think Desires is better. It's sort of one of those deck building dependent ones. And then some 1-of spells, we have Tenki, which is star, 1 for 1, which is just insane. Foolish Barrel, it kind of facilitates some of the combos, but again, I'm not so sure if it's necessary because of how high the consistency is anyway. So if there was a card you would want to change, it could possibly be Foolish Barrow. Then some utility spells, 3 talents and a Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave fills the same role as Crow, so obviously that's very good, but also it's good for us going first to play through more hand traps. And then Talents is just an insane card. And traps, Imperial Order. The deck struggles massively to Droplets, Dark Ruler, and Mystic Mine. So I think that Imperial Order is the... I know it's probably wrong to main deck it, but I think for the current format where board breakers could become a lot more popular, this is a very important inclusion. And it's a win button. If you can just have like a very weak combo because you've been hand trapped plus Imperial Order, then you probably will still win. And then the other trap is Tri-Brigade Oath, which is... it's a brick, obviously, but in the combo, which, if you don't know it, it's Warbler and Sparrow, basically ends on Samorg, Avian, Double Dragon Lords, Utopic Future, Keros with this engrave. And the effect of this card is, if you control 1 of each Tri-Beast, so Wing Beast, Beast Warrior, and Beast, you can banish it from the graveyard to target a face-up spell on the field and negate it, which basically means that your opponent has to have like 2 copies of Dark Ruler to play through your board, because otherwise you can just negate the 1. If they activate Mystic Mine, you can just, you know, if that's their whole play and then they pass, you just, in your turn, negate the Mystic Mine, you win. Same thing with the Droplet, unless obviously they send a trap, but if that's the case, right? What can you do? But it's got like, it's just a very good card. I think it's probably worth playing in the main deck because of how popular board breakers are, but yeah. Anyway, that's the main deck, 40 cards. I think that, like I said, Prosperity would be, I think, the only real change. Maybe drop Foolish as well, but I think that as a main deck, though, I think that'll be what I would be very confident taking to a regional. Extract. The extract is super tight, so I don't think it can vary much more than what is currently here, which is 3 Recital Starling. This is the best card in the extract because it facilitates everything. It adds a Wing Beast and it's part of all the OTKs. So the new Robin, which is, you know, just an Omni bounce sort of thing, it's quite good. Assemble Nightingale, Zeus Access plus OTKs, Utopic Future and Utopic Draco Future. Again, it's just part of the combo where the 2 Recital Starlings turn into this, which is a monster negate. It can be destroyed as well. Down Magician and Zeus. I don't actually have a Down Magician yet. Mine hasn't arrived, so again, for the purpose of getting this deck profile out, it's a nice turned around proxy Downward Magician. This is one of the cards that a lot of people say you could drop, but again, I think the access to a 4/6 mat Zeus is probably a lot more beneficial going second in, potentially as well because of, you know, I live in the UK, so the UK regional format tends to be very heavy on trap decks, so higher mat Zeuses tend to be very strong against like the Eldritch matchup, Geist and all that sort of stuff. This is the only real flex spot in the extract, which is 2 Omen. 1 is needed for the combo, turn 1, and I feel like the second one is very necessary, because it gives you something to do with the Tri-Brigade cards after turn 1, which you don't necessarily need, because your end board, providing they don't break it, which they generally won't, is always enough to kill them. But if, say for example, some form of interaction happens where you just need to put out another monster with the banish effect, I think this is necessary for the grind. And one Ferocious, one Samorg, one Double Dragonlords. Almirage. Almirage only comes up when your hand is terrible and you need to link off Kit or Nerval to make a play. But I think you probably do have to play this one just to maximize the consistency of the hands. If for some reason you can make the build perfect and never brick, then I think you could cut Almirage, but obviously for now it has to stay in. So the side is sort of up in the air as per usual, but this is what, if I was a regional today, or like tomorrow or whatever, this is what I would side, which is free draw, 2 Lightning Storm and a Feather Duster, free Dark Ruler, free Evenly, and free Anti-Spell. It's kind of a basic side. There's nothing like particularly special in this, but I think it would cover the majority of your matchups going into the current format, blind on the first week sort of thing. You got the anti-spells for the board breakers, cards and stuff like that. Evenlies, Lightning Storms and Duster for the trap decks, but also Evenly and Dark Ruler is a way to play through the bird deck, this deck here, when they have the Oath Trap, because, you just draw 2, plays through the board. It's not likely, it's 15%, but it's worth a try, right? So I think because otherwise you do just lose, you have to sort of go for that. And then draw, same sort of thing. I think draw is just the highest impact hand trap against the mirror and a lot of decks right now. So yeah, and that's it. If you want to see a combo video, let me know. There's loads of them. There's infinite combos with this deck, and they're all very sort of crazy, and you wouldn't really expect them to be able to play through everything looking at the deck, but it just plays through everything, honestly. Yeah, with that, thank you very much.